Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Mikkeller, out of Copenhagen, Denmark, and now he's brewing beers in San Diego. I don't know where this one came from. This one says Norway. But he is a vagabond brewer, and he runs all over Denmark, Norway, and those countries over there, and was brewing beers. But now he's got a brewery in San Diego, so I don't know what beers. Well, if he has a bunch of different beers that he's going to be brewing there, or if he has just a certain few of them that he's brewing there. So I don't know. I don't have any idea. Guys, I did this beer about 6 years ago, and it was in a great big bottle then. A very pricey bottle, I may add on top of that. And this one is too. This was sent to me, this is a 12-ounce bottle. This was sent to me by Rico, and it's got $7 on top of it. What I remember before was like a 750 milliliter. It was a great big bottle. And I don't remember what I paid for, but it was Beer Review 100. Quite a few beers ago. And it blew my hair off and back and socks off. I thought it was the best imperial or oatmeal stout that I'd ever had at the time. Not so sure that it's going to get that grade or those comments now. Quite a few more beers under the belt of this guy now. Let's see. Let us see where this brings us to. So, and like I said, $7. And my brother Rico sent this to me a while back, and he writes, Mikkeller Beer Geek Breakfast Oatmeal Stout, 7.5%. Best before date on the cap is 7/9/20, and he's telling me it should be a 2016 vintage. So we're not quite into July. Today is the 3rd of June of 2017, so we still got quite a few years left on it, and I don't know if there's any reason why you couldn't sell it longer than that. And he's saying here that he thinks they're giving the beer a 4-year shelf life. He drank a bottle that was 2 years old last month, and it still tasted stellar. And he picked it up it's been a couple months ago now for $7. So let's see where this ends up. When I had it the first time 6 years ago, I was a rookie. I was a novice in the beer reviews, and it blew me away, guys. It did. So don't know if it's going to do that now, because I have had quite a few beers that have been outstanding, especially the bourbon barrel aged stuff. And the time I did this, I don't think I'd had any bourbon barrel aged stuff. So let's see where it ends up. Commercial description on this says, recent batch of this has been brewed by Mikkeller at Nogano. Has also been brewed at Denmark, from 2013 brewed at Irving. So, like I said, he's a vagabond brewer. He goes from brewery to brewery, brewing his beers. So, I don't know if that's going to change now that he has a brewery going on in San Diego. We shall see. Says here, English, an oatmeal stout with 25% oat-based ingredients and a nice touch of gourmet coffee. That would be the reason why you would not want to sell this beer, guys. In my humble opinion, if it's brewed with coffee, that's going to fade. You would probably want to drink this pretty quick, because hops and coffee fade over time in beers. A beer that goes extremely well with breakfast. Well, it's a 7.5%er. Homie don't drink 7.5%ers for breakfast. Homie don't drink beer for breakfast, period. But some of you young bucks out there might still do. It says ingredients: water, malt, pills, oak, smoked, caramel, brown, pale chocolate, and chocolate. Those are your malts. Roasted barley, flaked oats, hops are Centennial and Cascade, ale yeast, and gourmet coffee. So that would be the only reason I would say you probably shouldn't sell this to what he's got on there, 2020. Because the coffee's going to fade over time, guys. So I would much rather see them put a bottled on date and let us judge that. And he told me best before date on the cap, and there's a price sticker on the cap, so you would actually have to peel that off to see that. So let me do that. Yep, best before 7/9/20. So they're not giving us a bottled on date. He's estimating that they're giving it a 4-year shelf life. So he thinks it's a 2016 edition. I don't know how much coffee I'm going to get now in 2017. So if they did it in July of 2016, we're in June of 2017, 11 months. So we will see. We will see. So like I said, there was a time I thought this was the best beer that ever was made. I mean, it blew me away. Not so sure that's going to happen now. Off with the cap. Little tiny bit of a hiss, a little bit of smoke. Into the glass we go, and let's go down the center, guys. Food pairing cheese, the earthy Camembert Fontina, goes well with the chocolate dishes. It's a dessert type beer. It's made of shellfish smoked meat. Glassware is the pint, Becker, Nonic, tumbler, mug, Science Sidella. Got the favorite snifter glass today, guys. And this says here not recommended for extended selling unless the ABV extends the average range. Well, it does at 7.5%, but it's brewed with coffee, so don't know if I would want to sell this beer very long. Didn't pour a very big head, even though we went straight down the center. Doesn't seem to be super carbonated. You would expect that from a 9, 10, 11, 12%er, but 7.5%, maybe not so much. And to the light, there is none. It's pitch black, guys. Very reminiscent of what an Imperial Stout looks like, or should look like, in my humble opinion. Let's get a nose on it. Rich roasted malt. I'm getting a hint of a little bit of spiciness in there. I don't know if I've used anything there. Maybe it's coming off the coffee. I don't know. It does not have a strong coffee note right now. It's not bourbon barrel aged or anything. Maybe some bittersweet chocolate in there, but not getting a lot on the nose right now, guys. Big, rich, roasted malt, almost to the burnt characteristics. And not much else. So, let's see what we get on the taste. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Not as impressed as I was 6 years ago. And I was really thinking that's probably what was going to happen. I was such a rookie novice when I got to Beer Review 100. Very easy drinking. Slight hint of some coffee in there. It's not off the chain or anything. Got a feeling it's almost a year in a bottle. The coffee has already faded substantially. Definitely wouldn't want to sell this beer to 2020. Absolutely freaking not. If you've got this beer in your cellar, you might want to get it out. Because the coffee's just going to continue to fade, guys. Anytime, and I didn't even know that when I did this beer review 6 years ago. I've learned so much in doing beer reviews and tasting a lot of different beers and reading a lot of beer information and listening to other beer reviewers and all of that. It's a cumulative effect. What I thought might have been a 10 beer back then may not be but a 5 or 6 beer now. And what I thought may have been a 5 or 6 beer because it overpowered my palate then, I may find outstanding now. So that all depends on where your palate is. Beer tastes are subjective. It all depends on where your palate is and what you like and what you used to be drinking, what your favorite beer is. all that has an aspect of whether you're going to like a beer or you're not going to like a beer. But the more of those different beers you drink, the more your palate will adjust and be able to determine whether what beer is tasty at that particular time or not. But like I said, there's some beers I've had over the last 3 years. If I'd have had them when I was my first 100 beer reviews, they would have blown my palate out of my mouth, and I thought they would probably have been awful. And right now they're probably 10 plus outstanding beers, and vice versa. What blew my socks off back then may not right now. May not be the caliber of the beer that I thought it was then because of the different ones I've had and where my palate is right now. So, well, let me sip on this instead of flapping my gums any longer and see where this one ends up. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. 6 years ago this blew me away, like I said earlier. Not so much now. It does have a nice, rich, roasted malt, almost to the burnt characteristics. Not getting a lot of coffee on this at all now at this stage. I may have kept it a little longer than I probably should have. But they've got a best by date, or best before date of 2020. To me, the coffee has already faded way more than it should be for something this bad coffee added to it. Decent beer, but not outstanding to me anymore. Especially for the price of $7 for a 12-ounce bottle. I've had much better since I had this the first time. Final joke. Wow. I want to see a bottle on date on this, guys. Especially since it's been brewed with coffee. That way we know how fresh beer that we're buying or we have in our hands and how long we should store it, not by what they telling us is stored. I'm not getting any coffee now. Just imagine how much less impressive it's going to be in the year 2020. Like I said, this blew me away when I had it the first time. Not so much now. I think this is a B+ beer, and that's where I'm going to put it. 88. That's where I'm giving it. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 92, so it's still in the A range on those guys. Over to Rate Beer, these guys evidently are still blown away. 100 overall, 100 in style. Absolutely not for me. There are better beers than this out there. Trust me, I have had them. Alright, final check in, run over to Untapped. They have it at 3.92. That's in their B+ range. That's where I'm putting it. That's more relevant and more accurate to me. The guys over there at Untapped seems to have their head screwed on their shoulder a lot better than Beer Advocate or Rate Beer. And I never heard some stuff going on with, I think it was Rate Beer, may have been partially bought out by AB InBev. So once I get more information on that, if that's the case, I'm probably going to stop using that site. Whichever one it was, whether it was Beer Advocate or Rate Beer, if they've been partially bought out by AB InBev, I will stop using their information. It'll just be Untapped and whichever other one that's not been bought out. I'm not supporting those guys. As far as I'm concerned, they don't need my support, and everything that they touch turns to doo-doo. So that's as pleasant as I can put that. I am not a fan of their stuff. I am not going to support them. So every brewery they buy out, I stop buying their beers. I still review them and people send them to me, but I will not spend my money on it. As far as I'm concerned, they get the lobbyists to vote the way they want. They control shelf space and distribution. They suck as far as I'm concerned. So I will not support them. So anybody that's been bought out by the big three or has a hand in anything done by those big three, I will not support or use or anything. So this, like I said, this blew me away when I had it 6 years ago. Not so much now, guys. If you've had this one recently, this is the Beer Geek Breakfast from Mikkeller. Let me know what you think. Good beer, but not to the A category in my opinion anymore. So, let's round it up. Let me know if you've had it. See y'all guys tomorrow. Let's go see what's in the fridge. See you then.